Hey everybody, and welcome back to another high-octane fueled installment of Thom Talks Stuff. I'm Gleeman Thom, and today we're doing another anime review. So strap yourself in, cause it's time to talk Initial D, the first stage. Before we can hit the gas and really delve into the show itself, we gotta cover some basic info. Initial D began as a manga series written and illustrated by Shuichi Shigeno. The manga was serialized from 1995 to 2013, picking up an anime adaptation in 1999 by Studio Comet and Studio Gallop. And while I couldn't dig up much on Studio Comet, other than they were involved in Dragon Quest, which I'd really like to see, by the way, Studio Gallop caught my eye as the main studio that did Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, that looks to be about it. Time to kick this review into gear. Initial D's first stage covers the rise of a legend, Akina's downhill specialist, also known as Akina's 8-6. Our main character, Takumi Fujiwara, is a young guy nearing the end of his high school years, and all his friends and workmates just can't seem to stop talking about racing on the mountain. And Takumi is stumped. He just can't figure out what there is to get so damn excited about. You see, Takumi has been delivering tofu to the hotels on the mountain for his father since he was 13, and because of this, he can't find any sort of real enjoyment in driving, as he simply views it as work. Boring, tiring work that forces him to get up well before the sun has even risen in order to make his deliveries on time. And as it turns out, Takumi has natural born skills as a racer, like his father before him. Over the last 5 years of deliveries, he has developed unbelievable speed and technique on the mountains downhill, all for the simple reason of wanting to get home just a wee bit sooner so he could get a little bit more shut-eye before the school day starts. However, an encounter with a talented street racer, Kisuke Takahashi, one of the famous Rotary brothers, changes everything. Takumi gets coerced into a race by his friends and father, wanting his father's promised reward of a full tank of gas so he can take his crush out on a date. Takumi accepts the challenge, and after a few races, Takumi soon begins to find real joy in racing, his strong, competitive nature forcing him forward and pulling out the most of his untapped racing genius. The first stage takes place in the late 90s, and foolishly, a lot of people didn't really take Takumi seriously in his supposedly out-of-date 83 Toyota Trueno. With so many of his opponents driving newer and flashier cars, they assume that they have the advantage over his old Panda Trueno. Just a quick note, I'm calling it a Panda Trueno because it's a paint job of black and white. Anyways, over the 26 episodes of the first stage, Takumi has 6 important races. 4 on his home course of Mount Akina, and 2 off. And all of them were exciting as hell. This includes races in heavy rain, and another one with a hand taped to the steering wheel. Even a couple crashes, so there's plenty to get excited about. Well, I think you get the idea of the plot here, and if you haven't watched it, I don't want to give too much away. This is supposed to be a non-spoiler, go check it out if you haven't kind of video. So yeah, don't forget to do that. Alright, it's time to switch lanes and talk about some of the more important characters. Sorry, supporting characters I meant to say. First, the Takahashi brothers. Ryosuke and Kisuke Takahashi, otherwise known as the Rotary brothers, as they both drive cars with rotary engines, are some of the most important characters in the series. Both raced Takumi over the course of Season 1. Kisuke is Takumi's first race, while Ryosuke was his last. They are the leaders of the Red Suns racing team, and both are instrumental in Takumi's evolution as a racer. Next are the Akina Speedstars. The Akina Speedstars are the main street racing team in Takumi's hometown, even though I don't believe any of them are seen winning a single street race in the entire series. Itsuki is the newest member and technically not even a proper street racer at the time. He gets the honor of first placement here due to him being Takami's best and childhood friend. Probably because of this, he is the most supportive out of all of the Speedstars when it comes to Takami's racing. He is also a fan of the A86 model, so much so that he attempts to buy one himself. Although due to his inexperience when it comes to cars, he ends up buying an A85 instead, a much slower car. Also, I believe this might just be the first anime series where I heard of Josh Greel, as it was he who voices Itsuki. The other two members of the Akina Speedstars are Ikatani and his buddy Kenji. They're both good guys and all, but it does get a bit annoying with them predicting our main character's loss in every single race. And I mean every race. Seriously, talk about bad friends. Now, there are other important characters to mention, but I think I'll just leave them for the upcoming stages. So, moving on, let's discuss the animation and sound of the series. For being an older show, I think the animation is pretty solid. It's an older style, but the characters were detailed enough in their emotions, and the races always looked awesome. So yeah, I don't see a problem. I'm not an expert, just a fan, and it always looked like plenty of the racing was done with some kind of computer animation. And while that's not my favorite style, I think it looks good for the time. The soundtrack of the series was phenomenal. The show always knew when to pump you up and get you to the edge of your seat. You always knew when shit was about to go down, because the music would suddenly swell. Also, the opening and ending pieces were great. At times, more music videos than the simple animated song you're used to. The whole thing was a lot of fun. Yep, I think that about wraps it up. So to anyone here who hasn't seen Initial D yet, I'd really suggest you check it out. You can currently watch the show on Funimation website, as well as Hulu. Also, the box sets run about $20 a piece right now, so not a major hazard to the wallet either. The series can feel like it's going a bit slow sometimes, due to your desire to see the next race, but the show takes plenty of time to introduce you to its characters and themes. And not just the human drivers, but the cars themselves. Even the different courses have a real sense of personality. This is a well-rounded show that packs a whole lot in. Plenty of fun, excitement, and heart. So really, check it out. Well, I think that's about it. I had a hell of a lot of fun rewatching the series. I'm hopefully going to be moving out of state in the first week of March. I'll be getting my first car and driving down to Colorado, so I need to get a license. But that driving book was so damn boring, I threw Initial D in the background, and I'll tell you what, it got a hell of a lot more interesting. Well, it's time to be moving on. I got more stuff to watch, and oh, I got my hands on a live-action Initial D movie, so I'm pretty excited to check that out too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos if you got time. Take care. I'm out.